And welcome back on this Tuesday morning. What a busy day, too. Lots of video to get in, but let's quickly go over that weather. Much of what you saw yesterday, you'll see again today. 30% chance of those showers. Those are those scattered showers, that is. 89 for that high, 70 for the low. We're about 73 right now. Same thing for tomorrow. Looks like Thursday jumps up to 40% chance of those showers. The rest of the week not looking bad at all. As far as temperatures, look at that, 91 even on Friday. And a beautiful weekend. 230-4988 still gets Frank.
All right, Senator Bill Holtzclaw joins us. Wade with A.B. Thompson, ABC Company, Stewart Price, the Lee Company. What all does the Lee Company do?
Well, thanks, Jamie. Appreciate you having me. Lee Company is a full-service mechanical, HVAC, plumbing, electrical contractor. We do construction, we do facility service, and we do home services as well.
So y'all do residential and commercial?
We do, yeah.
Do you advertise in this market?
We do, that's right. We are in Madison.
Hey, we are too, so now y'all start advertising.
There you go. Do you have a house?
In Madison? I got a church in Madison.
Well, we can take care of that too.
Well, we're building a new church, y'all. We might be able to use them, Bill.
We can do that.
All right, Wade, first of all, tell us, you just retired from teaching over at, you said you had your field of education at Grissom. You helped with the baseball team, brought them on the show several years ago. It's ABC. We're not talking about the Alabama beverage control system. We're talking about something else. Exactly what is it, and how is Senator Holtzclaw and how is Stewart involved with you in this?
Okay, ABC is Associated Builders and Contractors. We're basically a nonprofit organization, and we consist of various construction companies and related companies in North Alabama. And Lee Company is a member of ABC. And my job basically, there are several jobs I have, but one is workforce development. And that's getting kids and adults, whoever, ready to be able to perform the duties that he needs, which is there's very shortage at this time.
And Senator Holtzclaw, what is your involvement with this?
Well, obviously with the workforce development aspect, but during this last legislative session, we passed a very significant piece of legislation called the 21st Century Workforce Development Act, and I was the Senate sponsor of it. And what that bill is going to do, and it complements what both of these gentlemen do, is the first thing it does is it assesses what you and I probably called growing up VOTEC. I went to VOTEC when I was in high school. I learned how to learn some lifelong skills there, and unfortunately, we've let, in our nation as well as in our state, we've let our VOTEC kind of slide a little bit. We don't necessarily have some of the more modern equipment that we could use, and we're seeing a break where some children who, like you said earlier in the show, they don't necessarily, after spending 4 years in high school learning, going to English and math classes, they don't really see themselves doing 4 more years of that at the university. They want to look to a different route. And if we can get these children involved in the career tech aspect through these VOTEC centers or career tech education, it's going to reduce the dropout rate, but it's also going to prepare 18, 19, 20-year-olds for the workforce to fill the needs of these organizations.
I was stunned at how much it costs when one person drops out.
Yeah, the dropout, Wade sent me some information on this, but let me back up a little bit before I go to that now. When I was in school, because we called it ag, okay, and I had a home ec and ag, okay. I made a D- in home ec and a D in ag. I mean, I just wasn't cut out to use these, okay. That's why I do not like getting a callus. That's why I'm in the TV business. However, there is a shortage. How big a shortage is there, Stewart, with people not only like you, but plumbers, carpenters, stuff like that?
Jamie, I got to tell you, it is by far our biggest challenge. We travel around the country we build hospitals and we build all kinds of large construction projects and small. And in every case, our biggest challenge is finding qualified people. And it is a shame. And I can't tell you how much we appreciate the efforts of the Senator and ABC in restoring the nobility of the tradesmen. We've lost that in a pursuit of, and college is great. And by the way, I heard you earlier, it's not just high school dropouts. These are smart kids. These are kids that are achievers, and yet they don't have an interest in going on to college and getting a degree. They want to get on with life and start making money. And there's a lot of money to be made.
Well, even college-educated people that's got degrees can't get a job in their field.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
Now, I know a lot of people that just get construction jobs are just losers anyway. They can't get a job doing anything else. But what the information, Wade, you're talking about people making over $20 an hour, anywhere $20, $30 an hour to work for HVAC or whatever they're doing.
Well, I wouldn't say that construction jobs are for losers.
Well, I'm going to say some people that dropped out of school and can't get a job doing anything else. First thing they look for is construction. That's what I mean by that.
Sometimes that's the case. That's right. But you know what? Even those people, a lot of times they're redeemable, and we at Lee Company have understood that, and we recognize that. And was that Gloria or the dog? We have. We've taken
He's part of the show.
That's fantastic. We've taken the initiative to establish Lee Company University, which is an NCCER accredited university to train plumbers, pipe fitters, HVAC, electrical, all the mechanical trades, and equip them and enable them to be certified in their craft. And it's a 4-year program. They get a degree in it. They get a certificate.
Now, where is that, Stewart?
That's at our home office in Nashville. So,
Really?
and that's something that we also have here in Madison in our office, and we're going to have it in our other regional offices as well. So
people go through a 4-year school
They do.
learning a trade?
they do. They go to work all day, and they'll be working on their site till 3:30, and then they'll go from 4:30 to 7 each
Really?
day to attend these classes. And then we have our senior people at Lee Company will come in and teach. So it's a very rigorous curriculum.
How do people get enrolled
Signed
in
up.
your school?
First of all, they come and fill out an application for Lee Company.
Now, you people, how many employees y'all got, Stewart?
We're knocking on 800 right now.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
All right, Wade, give me a little bit of information on this school dropout. The information you sent me says every 26 seconds in the United States a kid drops out of school. That costs about $7,000 a day, over $1 million a year, 68% graduation rate across America. I would have thought it'd been much higher than that, Bill. I got to tell you. And you say that it costs the government over $260,000 over a lifetime for these people dropping out. Why is that?
I think a lot of it is, and I witnessed this in my class. You know, you got kids who could care less about biology, they could care less about Canterbury Tales, and these are courses that you got to take, but somewhere in there, I think there needs to be some modifications to where they could go to a tech center, maybe even starting in 9th grade. And I've been traveling around to several career tech programs in North Alabama. They're targeting 8th graders. They're going down to 7th, 8th grade and getting these kids interested in tech-oriented programs. Now, that doesn't mean that they can start the tech center. They have to wait, I think it's a sophomore, junior, senior year before they can go. But if you lose a kid in 9th grade, it's hard to get him back. If he has to repeat 9th grade, you've probably lost that kid. Versus if you put him in something he's interested in right off the bat, he may stay and he may graduate versus become a statistic.
But are not most high schools, and tell me if I'm wrong, any guy, geared toward getting everybody to go to college? I mean, that's what everybody wants, but everybody ain't that smart.
Right.
Got the money.
And I think that's kind of where we've, I think you put a great term on it when you said we've made it a noble profession again. And there are lots of people that look to that as a path that they want to go. And also think that, we were probably fortunate to have a male figure in our life that kind of encouraged us. I was raised in a foster home, but there really wasn't any chance that I was going to drop out of school. Because I had a strong male figure in my life that made sure that I went to school every day. But we have lots of children that, unfortunately, we don't have we don't have the traditional family
Single parents.
that we kind of grew up with.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't even know anybody was divorced growing up.
No.
And
It's hard to find
when
people.
Wade and I first met, him being a coach, there are children that perform for him as a male figure as a coach. And because of that relationship, they also performed in the classroom because he required them to. And so now this is another way a shop teacher can become a very important person in that child's life, teaching them a skill that's going to get them employed coming right out of high school, maybe go on to a 2-year school to get a certification or use the program such as Lee Company has. It's going to enable them to have a certification. That piece of paper is a big deal nowadays. And with advances in technology, construction is just not what it used to be. We've got a lot of technology that's incorporated, a lot of green technology that's incorporated, renewable energy type things. And so I'm excited that we were able to get this legislation through our career tech centers. We're going to be, the first thing we're doing, Jamie, is we're making sure, we're doing an inventory. We're making sure that what we're teaching is there's a demand for in the marketplace. Because I don't want to teach you I don't want us to spend the resources to teach something that's not employable after they finish it. So once we do that, then we're going to do some investment on the equipment to make sure that they have the best equipment. And then we're going to roll this thing out and hopefully in the next 18, 24 months, we're going to see an increase in
All schools don't teach tech anymore?
No.
Why has that been dropped?
Well, partly because everyone, we fell into the trap of thinking that everybody was going to go on to a 4-year college. And so some of your best high schools in North Alabama they've let a career tech go away.
Hey, Stewart, why is there such an explosion right now for blue-collar jobs?
Well, I don't know if it's so much an explosion, but as the senator pointed out, I think there is a lack of resources, a lack of a pool of available people to do it because we've neglected to maintain these technical education programs in the high schools. You know, we did become and frankly, it goes beyond construction, and the senator's efforts really get down to the crux of, are we a nation that makes things anymore, or are we just consuming things and creating ideas? And so we need to be a nation that makes things.
How much has social media done probably to dumbing down of America and taking these jobs?
It's incomprehensible to think, but yeah, that's a good point.
Because I can remember when I was in school, of course, our portraits were in black and white, but people, you know, I want to be a milkman when I grow up, or I want to be a mailman. You know, nobody thinks that now. Of course, a lot of people now just want to live off the government.
Right.
Hey, Jamie, the average age of a construction worker at this point in time, and I've got two different numbers, and maybe Stewart knows it, 47, and I heard someone else tell me that it's 57 to 59.
That's the average age of a construction worker?
So in another 4 or 5 years, if people don't fill these slots, who's going to take their place?
My goodness.
And it's noticeable. Even at Lee Company, it's noticeable. He's correct. Those ages are accurate. And there's also, I think, too, when we get into programs like this that the senator's advocating for, that helps just in terms of work ethic. It restores the American work ethic, and that's what we're interested in doing. So
Now, that's a tough job.
yeah.
All right, Bill, so what is your overall goal with this whole program that you got sponsored?
Well, it's multifaceted. Number one, it's workforce development, but it's also protecting the children that are at risk from a dropout. As Wade also pointed out, you know, the numbers of dropout. When a child drops out of high school and doesn't complete high school, it's very hard for them to engage later on in life in the workforce. And so essentially they end up as someone who is living off of the government. I think, you know, most Americans are willing to provide a hand up to somebody to be able to help them establish themselves and become self-sufficient and a part of the society that we live in and contribute to that society. I'm not a fan of the handouts.
Yeah,
I think
well, neither am I, but that's unfortunately the way of life for a lot of folks. Wade, what can people do to help you? What do you need?
Go to Lee Company and apply.
The biggest thing is the high school counselors and everyone I've met out here, they're going above and beyond to talk to the kids.
Now, Decatur just started a thing, right?
I talked to Dr. Ed Nichols the other day, and they're starting a carpentry class down in 8th grade in Cullman City, over here in Florence. There's several people moving down the middle schools to get these kids interested, so that's a start.
All right. Stewart, I want to thank you for coming down for Nashville this morning. Y'all got any openings for 59-year-old men up there that can't do anything?
Well, we did have an opening for a football coach up there, but that's second, so we're kind of hopeful now.
Do you need a spokesman for your business? I might be able to handle that. Bill, it's always good to see. Look forward to having you back, talk a little politics. So right now, you're free for the summer?
Yes. Free working throughout the district. So
hey, I'm looking forward to next year when everybody's up for a re-election and running.
It's going to be fun.
We're going to see a lot of folks like that. Wade, good to see you. Hang around here.
I appreciate it.
Thank you guys for coming.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, too, for showing up this morning. Hey, we'll take a break on this Tuesday morning. We'll come back with Stanley in just a second. Plus, I'll run some video from Special Needs Rodeo held over the weekend. Y'all hang on.